Yeah, it was a bit disheartening realizing this. I don't remember when. It was a process. You realize this more and more as time goes on, and the more you have experience in relationships, you start to see this. You got to have actual experience. It's not enough to listen to somebody on YouTube tell you these things. Yeah, I guess it can hip you to what's possible, but your emotions and your lust and desires are going to take you over, and you're still going to have your own experience. There's too many people nowadays that they think they can learn life. They're going to learn living wisdom with their intellect, and it's worse. It's like life tries to give you an experience to where you can really get this wisdom, but then you rely on all this stored data that you listen to from people talking about these things, and then you talk yourself out of a relationship, or you can't see things clear. Yeah, the best teacher, hands down, is life, living wisdom. The Chinese mystic Lao Tzu, when he was talking to, I always forget the guy's name, a very brilliant philosopher. Lao Tzu was his guru. And this guy was always working on trying to help humanity and create strategies and protocols. And, here, look, this is how you're supposed to look at life. And then he'd bring that to Lao Tzu and says, "Oh, what do you think?" Lao Tzu says, "None of that's going to work, man." He says, "Leave everybody to nature. Nature's going to evolve everybody and straighten everything out." Because he knew. How did he know? Because his own actual experience. He knows that you can't learn things mentally and then think that that's wisdom. That's not the same as wisdom. Information and wisdom is totally different. But when I realized this play between male and female, that generally speaking, the man he's drawn to the woman because of lust and sex, and a woman has this instinctive need to be with the man for material security and just security in general. When I saw that kept getting, that's there, like it's always there, and that fuels the reason that men and women talk. And when I would meet a girl, it wouldn't take long before I could see that in there somewhere. Especially nowadays, it's just sickening. They just expect, some of them expect you to like buy them something, like just for talking to them for like the first day or something. You're like waiting for you to invite them out to buy them something, dinner, coffee or something. But see, I'm glad I grew up a little bit before that really started to take effect. I don't know, but everything has positive and negative, actually, because I've said before, this makes it easy to just jump out of the whole game. You're just like, this is stupid, like, I'm done. And then when you do that, the universe might can send you somebody that's actually more pure. What's pure? Pure is when you were a kid, 7 years old, let's say. I remember I was in Michigan, Brighton, Michigan. It was very snowy. It gets real cold and snowy during the winter. And we would play together, guys and girls, and make snowballs and hit each other and, whatever. But we would look forward to seeing each other. I wasn't lusting after the little girl, and she wasn't sizing me up for money, see? Because like society conditioning didn't take over yet. So it was just innocent. We were just enjoying each other like that. So as I got older, I saw that, especially now, like, where's that at? It's like gone. So then what you're left with is a transactional relationship, and I don't know, it was like a grieving process to really see that. And I'm not the first one that said that. My friend told me a similar thing. When he really started to see it, he's like, "Man, this makes me sad." I'm like, "I understand." Yeah, I know. But I said, look at the bright side. You don't have to mess with it anymore. Let it go. You know how much work and energy and time goes in stress? Like thinking about like the opposite sex and how to get them or do something with them. Oh, I gotta look good so I can get my gains, so I can get... Man, they don't care about that. On superficial level, yeah, okay, that's a bonus, yeah. But they don't even care. You know why they care if you got gains? Because then if you're out with them in public, they think other people will look at them and they're with a guy that has gains, and then they'll get some status, some clout. It's all so superficial, man. Like when you peel it back and look at the layers and the motives, it's all silly. And so, like I said, the positive side is, well, if you have the level of consciousness to where that don't attract you anymore, you just step out of the game. The thing is, if you had a mom or a family and you have a lack of female, you have a deficit of female energy, you're going to be drawn to female energy, you know, and then that's going to turn into, you're going to sexualize it. Oh, wow, the girl's like being intimate with me. Oh, that feels good. I made a video. The female drug, it's like the strongest drug. So we have to taste that a little bit. Okay, go taste it. Don't, like I said at the beginning of the video, you can't like deny yourself of experiences that you're supposed to have, that you're destined to have. So have the experience. I was talking to a guy. He's been working with me for a while because I'm not really working too much privately now because I have to rest. But he was sharing, he's with the girl, he's young, it's like his first girlfriend. And he knows she's working him. He knows she don't like love him, like with her heart's not in it. That's the thing. Nowadays, like your heart, nobody's heart's in it. It's all transactional. The guy thinks his heart's in it, but really he just wants to get laid. The girl will think, she'll feel like, oh yeah, my heart's in it because he's buying me stuff. And then, okay, stop buying her stuff. Oh, heart's not in anymore. See? So anyway, he knows her heart's not in it, and she's using him on some level in it, but he don't care, man. He's like, whatever. I'm enjoying the experience, and I just want to, like, what am I gonna do? I'm like, yeah, man, do what you do, you know. And if when it breaks and crashes, yeah, you might feel bad, go through some emotional detox or something, but so be it. Like, what are you gonna do? We can't live life and not have experiences. You just can't do it. You can't intellectualize your way out of everything. It's not the same thing as real wisdom. Wisdom comes from living life. So, is it even possible to have this purity in a relationship nowadays without the guy being taken over by the sexual instinct and without the girl being taken over by the security instinct? Yeah, it is possible, but you can't find it. That's the thing. See, some people say, no, it's impossible. True love is dead. So all that stuff. Because that's your experience. You haven't found it. Because you can't be looking for it, number one, and you can't be so cynical that you're not open to it. You find what you're looking for when you stop needing it. How do you stop needing it? By going and having experiences to see what I'm sharing right now for your own self. And then this renouncement of pursuing the opposite sex, it happens automatically. You're not mentally renouncing it because, like, it sucks and you're cynical about it. That's fake. That means inside you still wish you had it and you're pissed off that you can't. Don't work. So go through the organic process of living life and you'll come to this state. And then if you meet somebody, if the universe sends you someone, you're going to attract what you're broadcasting. If you are free of the lust instinct, then you don't need a girl. But you can still, you're a man, you're in touch with that, so you enjoy it. You enjoy the female energy. You'll attract somebody, a girl who is on similar frequency. She enjoys the masculine energy. Maybe, she's self-sufficient. I was with somebody like that. She don't need money or material or anything, like she don't need it. But she enjoys the masculine energy because she's a woman. Same thing with women. They shouldn't, they should learn to transcend this resentment toward men and all of the bad things that the guys did. Yeah, like everybody, you get a bad deal, period, being on this planet in some way. Whether your gender, your race, just all kinds of things. Like, this is the tax you got to pay for being here, but we're only here 70 years or 80 years. Like, who cares? But it feels heavy. I understand. So when you get right inside, you'll attract some girl right inside. Maybe. Depends on your destiny. And then you can enjoy like that. Be like two strong pillars, like near each other, enjoying each other, like that. Now, I've found that platonic relationships, man, it's just a lot safer. It's just better. You see what you're dealing with. When you're in a platonic relationship, you're not after her for the sex. There's some, you see, look, this is an important, like, law of dynamic or something. It applies to collective mainstream. This is how it works. When the guy has sex with the girl, there's almost some expectation now that he should do something with her because she, like, allowed him inside her. She has an easier time now asking for things, money or material stuff, whatever, if she's had sex with him. You notice how that plays, that dynamic? If you didn't have sex, she can't so easily say, like, hey, buy me this, buy me that. It's just not, it's not alive. That it's like you can't do it. I mean, you can. If they start doing that, yeah, you get rid of them. This is how you know. And you're not attached because you haven't had sex, so the sexual cords aren't in each other, inside each other, and so you're not being, like, energetically, like, tied into each other because you didn't have sex, so you can just leave easier. When you have sex, is like something happens for a lot of people, especially if it's intimate. If you're just having one night stands, I mean, what's the point? Okay, taste it, experience it. At some point, that just gets stupid and boring. You just feel stupid. You feel like you're having sex with a stranger. Like, what am I doing? So, when a girl allows a guy to be inside her, she seems to have an easier time now asking for stuff. Okay, works the other way too. If a guy's buying her a bunch of stuff and doing things, it's like he has an easier time, like, expecting sex now. This is the transactional part. So, what was the point of bringing that up? Platonic. If you're not doing that, if you've transcended lust to a sufficient degree and you're just enjoying her energy, back like when you were kids, like that, just stay there, man. Stay there. If you do that for a year, you'll see what you're dealing with. If she's still cool after a year, okay, let's see. Maybe then, if you want to add some physical intimacy in the relationship or something, you could look at that. But if you don't go through that period of, like, seeing what you're dealing with, most relationships don't work. It's good if you could wait a year. If you've really transcended the sexual instinct, you may never even need to have sex with her, actually. And then the love for her will always be strong. It, like, doesn't dry up. It doesn't turn into a seeming opposite, like, hate or resentment, because you didn't enter into the transactional mental nonsense that, like, everybody's in. You kept it pure. You're enjoying each other's energy, and the energy is great because she's the opposite energy polarity. If you're a man, she's a woman. That gives you something. There's some, because she's a woman. You don't have that energy like she does. Yeah, you can be in touch with your feminine side, but it's still not the same as being a woman. So you enjoy that play, male, female energy. So if you can keep it platonic, good. But I know it's impossible at a certain stage because you just want to know what it feels like to do it. So yeah, you have to do it then. Just go do it. But keep in mind what you're working towards. The biggest purpose the best thing about me in the past, like, having the sex, was to be free of it. This was the best thing about it. It wasn't the actual sex. Like, it's just really not a big deal. It's never a big deal. I mean, I enjoy if there's love there to share. Yeah, you can enjoy, but I can enjoy all kinds of things. Like, what's the big deal about sex? Sex is so hyped up. It's like, at some point, it's just stupid, you know? But when you're free of that, then you can start to attract some higher level relationships that I'm trying to point to right now. And this message isn't for most people, I know that, but I'm not talking to most people. I'm talking to the people who get this because, yeah, I don't want to talk to anybody else, actually. So I hope you got something from that, man. Be aware of this transaction that's getting played between men and women. If you're aware of it, but you can't help it, you still want to play it, go ahead. Like, go ahead. But be aware of it. The more conscious we are of this play, the quicker we can transcend it. Those who are just zombies and they're just caught up in the machine, yeah, they'll just do this for lifetimes. But those of you who are already aware of this, be aware of it. Don't resent them. Don't resent the girl, because that will block you from attracting something the universe is trying to give you, some higher thing, you know. But at the same time, try to get done with it. That's what I'm saying. Try to get done with it. You got to find this contentment inside, this satisfaction inside. Then the girl, how can she get you? You don't need the sex. You don't need the female energy. You don't need anything from her or from anything else. Like, you found something inside. You can't explain what it is. You found something inside that comes in time. And then you're free. And then girls, you know what? They won't even approach you anymore, actually. They'll just feel it frequency-wise. They're like, he's like living in another world. They can sense, like, they can't run any game on you. So then maybe 1 out of 100,000, they'll sense that because they're higher frequency. And then they'll talk to you. And you'll sense in them too. You're like, she's cool. She's not working me. Like, she doesn't need to work me at all. And then you'll find out she's already self-sufficient. She don't want a guy like doing a bunch of stuff for her. All right, we can talk about this stuff forever. I'll see you.